to Adelaide for the 2009 Credit Union Christmas Pageant. It's an absolute thrill to be here, Brenton.
Sure is, Kate. A big family tradition for nearly 80 years, and this year's theme is families sharing memories. And there are lots of new families joining us this year.
That's right, Brenton. We've got the royal family, we've got the monster family, and one that's sure to become a favourite, the new robot family.
Looking forward to seeing that. Now, we've all got our own special pageant memories, and of course, I don't think we're going to be quick to forget today. Very hot indeed. Our first November heatwave here in Adelaide on record.
That's right, Brenton. It will be very hot, but that hasn't stopped thousands of families joining us here along the pageant route for what promises to be a wonderful occasion. And joining us now on this wonderful occasion is our very own Jason Snowy Carter.
Thanks a lot, Kate. Thanks a lot, Brenton. Yes, so many families here in anticipation for this, the 77th Credit Union Christmas Pageant. And some families, they are veterans, getting here as early as 5 o'clock in the morning. Other families here for their very first time today, waiting to see the incredible Christmas pageant floats make their way through the streets of Adelaide. But of course, everyone is here to see Father Christmas, and he'll be at Magic Cave a little bit later on. One lady I'm sure that's going to get a present or two from Father Christmas is our very own Kelly Nestor.
Hello everyone. Well, it's hot and happening for me here today because guess what? I'm going to be meeting the guy in the big red suit. Yes, that's right. Father Christmas is coming to town and we're going to meet him over there on the landing stage. And that's after he's made a very long journey to see us here in Adelaide. And for the very first time, there will be a pageant king to meet him with the pageant queen. And I'll be there to say hello.
That we can see the mounted SA police leading the pageant this year, Brenton.
We sure can, Kate. It's looking a lot like Christmas here in Adelaide. I get so excited at this point. Affectionately known as the police greys. Beautiful looking horses too and their riders. Second most important role next to the next to Father Christmas here, setting the pace of the pageant with these guys, new pogo and penny farthings.
Now, they're leading the pageant for the first time this year. It's Pogo, accompanied by 11 penny farthings and their riders who belong to the Penny Farthing Cycle Club of South Australia. Don't they look great?
They do. The police greys coming here in front of our commentary box at the minute with some of the penny farthings as well. They look fantastic, setting the pace, as I mentioned, for Father Christmas. And have a look at Pogo here. He's been riding very well all the way from Stardust Castle. Is that his hair? That's his hair.
Not a helmet.
Bright green hair.
It could almost be a helmet though, couldn't it?
It's hunched over. And I can hear some music as well. That's the band of the South Australia Police that we're looking at, led by Drum Major Sergeant Adam Buckley, under the musical direction of David Polo. And quite a tradition, the honoured position of lead band of the pageant. In fact, next year, Kate, the band has been invited to perform at the Basel Military Tattoo.
Oh, look who we've got here, Brenton. It's Nipper.
First in the pageant in 1933, and thanks to all the volunteer flower arrangers with floral designs by Blair Ringwald.
And on top, waving to me now, is the beautiful young Rihanna May Cruz, who's been selected to take this most honoured of positions in the pageant.
What a special role indeed that is. And we've got the Young Adelaide Voices, directed by Deb Munro. This choir has an international reputation. We're lucky to have them here with us today. Formerly the Adelaide Girls Choir.
And now includes the boys' choir too, Brenton.
They've got a few commercial recordings out and about if you're just getting a copy. Very nice to hear. And nimble. Every young girl's dream to be a fairy riding nimble in the pageant.
A big wave here today. And a very lucky Chloe Hughes riding nimble. Doesn't she look beautiful?
Now, the big, beautiful grey horse we see here, that's Nimble, staying at Magic Cave at David Jones until Christmas. So if you want your own personal ride on Nimble, you can do that at the Magic Cave.
Now we have a brand new float here, the Royal Family. Now from in order, there's the King and Queen, the inaugural King for the first time this year, Brenton. Very exciting. We have Matt Nolan and...
Well, the Queen's been a big pageant tradition here since the 1940s. As you say, we've got the King up the top, and we've got all the princes there as well. The King, Matt Nolan, he's from Community CPS Australia, 20 years old. What a great honour to be there with the Christmas pageant Queen, Marie Antoinette from Satisfang Credit Union, with all the princes and princesses, again, going to be there to meet Father Christmas when he comes into the Magic Cave. You know, I suppose probably what will be about an hour from now. So we're
How
looking forward to
excited,
that.
how excited would King Matt Nolis be? He's from Community CPS.
Now we've got Bruto here. Bruto with the music of Monster Mash, the biggest and most lovable of monsters. Very, very friendly. Hey, he's looking around at us. G'day, Bruto. Look at him eyeing off all the boys and girls. What a great honour that would be to sit up there with Bruto.
A little bit scary there.
I wish I had a big monster like Bruto to have in school. He's a friendly monster, though. He's a friendly one.
And look at him eyeing off all the boys and girls sitting behind the blue honour line.
He's been with us here at the pageant for many years now, actually. Oh, this is pretty cool too. Christmas wrapping with MC Shep.
Now, this float was first introduced in 2006 and has MC Shep and skaters and breakers from the clinic, Brenton.
Yeah, they've ripped off the huge Christmas wrapping here. Found their dream gift, a rage cage. They like it loud, these guys.
Now, this float's definitely keeping the pageant relevant for kids, and it's the important thing that skateboarding and breakdancing is certainly current and popular.
There we go. You can hear MC Shep there and the breakers from the clinic. And these guys have been doing this, skating in this ramp all the way from South Terrace, the pageant route, 3.5 kilometres.
Look at them go.
Having a bit of fun there. Oh, hello. McDougal, the detective.
Now, this is themed to the music of the Pink Panther, which we'll be hearing. And more than 300,000 people are here for the pageant. And McDougal here is the head of our pageant security, on the lookout for that cat burglar who's hiding in the rubbish bin and just waiting to pounce. Look at him.
There he is. He's about to jump on him. Actually, if you look closely too, you can see all the mice that have raided the Adelaide market of its premium cheese. McDougal there, he's very sophisticated, isn't he? Here are the mice in the cage.
Oop, and there's that sneaky cat burglar.
I love that Pink Panther music too. They're not going through the cheese in a hurry, are they? I can hear some more music not too far away.
And he's got his tartans on there, Brenton.
Now, I believe this is the band of the 1027th Battalion, the Royal Australian Regiment, the Army Reserve Band, who had the honour of performing at the Queen's Golden Jubilee Edinburgh Tattoo in Scotland. They perform regularly in defence of public parades and ceremonial occasions right around South Australia.
And the band is always looking for new recruits, so if you think you've got what it takes, you might want to give them a call.
And part of the tradition of having the band of the 1027th Battalion, the Royal South Australian Regiment, is the Parade of the Flags, featuring the Adelaide 36ers and the Lightning dance teams. The young women who support our state men and women's basketball teams. Basketball?
Basketball.
Am I American now?
Suddenly
Basketball,
you are.
sorry, basketball. Now, the Flags, though, the Credit Union Christmas Pageant is owned and managed by the South Australian Tourism Commission Major Events Division. And if you have a look at the flags, they're representing all the credit unions that have made this pageant possible for us. Savings and Loans, there's Australian Central, Community CPS Australia, Police, Power State, Satisfaction.
And if you'd like to find out more about all the other great events in South Australia, then just go to events.southaustralia.com.
Actually, we've got a stack of things coming up too. We've got the Tour Down Under in January. Next year, the Great Australian Outback Cattle Drive. That's up north in the desert. That is going to be fantastic. As well as that, the equestrian event actually happening over the next few days as well. We'll have that again next year, the 3-day international. So some big events happening here in South Australia at the minute.
Lots to do in South Australia.
As you mentioned, worth jumping online, events.southaustralia.com.au. Now this, I've been looking forward to this one.
You're very excited, Brenton.
This is new. This is Grandpa's Christmas workshop. The elves, pixies, there are fairies and gnomes there. They're all busy in Grandpa's workshop. And have a look. He's dozing there in his rocking chair.
He's having a snooze.
Actually, I remember my grandpa bringing me to the pageant, and I tell you what, it didn't take long for him to fall asleep when we got home either. Now, I can't see it there, but one of the best things I love about Christmas pageants are all the trains in there, and if you, we might be able to see a couple of little trains running around the feet there of Grandpa. There, I can see it. Yeah, yep, just behind the driver there. There's two trains. One of them's a little Christmas train, all decorated. How gorgeous is that?
And the great thing about this float and characters, they'll go along with the royal family to the Women's and Children's Hospital after the pageant to visit those children who couldn't make it here today.
That is wonderful of them too, after they've walked for so long. And here we have it.
Toby the toy truck.
Ah, yes, one of the pageant favourites. Toby the toy truck, sporting a huge smile, a load full of toys. Now, the only two people more excited than Toby are the two lucky kids driving inside.
There they are, a big wave.
And you don't need a licence either, because Toby does all the driving for you. And guess what? A big convoy to Christmas. How many sleeps do you reckon it might be?
Oh, around 41?
Well, I've been counting. You're right, 41 sleeps until Christmas. And you know what? There are about 80 drivers in the pageant. Many of the vehicles are old baggage cars that used to pull around the luggage at airports. Oh, here we go. The Scotch College Tattoo Corps.
Could hear them coming a mile away. Now they're wearing the Seaforth Mackenzie tartan. Scotch College Band is wearing South Australia's only school-based pipe band. Now last month Scotch College won the State Pipe Band Championship, Brenton. It's pretty good achievement, isn't it?
Sound good too.
And they're made up of the pipe band, Highland dancers and the concert band. The pipe major is Malcolm Massey. And the dance tutor is Leonie Burgess.
Hey, what are those clowns think they're doing? Can't hold up the pageant, mate.
Bit of tomfoolery.
He's got his bike here for the Tour Down Under and participate in that next year. Well, all the colour... Oh, have a look at this. I love the colour here of Boo-Hoo the Jester. I can hear him laughing. He laughs so much he cries. That's why they call him Boo-Hoo. Now, these credit union jesters are under strict instructions to keep the laughing going all the way to Christmas. They're doing a good job of it too.
Now, Brenton, did you know that there are over 370 folly bells on the Jester's clothes?
Is it? So, I was just counting
That's what all
them,
that jingling is.
I got to 340, but you're telling me 370, that's good. Stretching things a bit too far here, I think. Candy Carnival. Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without candy. And here we have the Candy Carnival featuring the turning candy merry-go-round. Actually, you've got to be careful about eating and going around on a merry-go-round at the same time.
It's got the biggest lollipops on that ride.
It has them.
Don't do things by halves here in the pageant.
Actually, I love all the pageant, the candy pageant stockings you get. You know, when you go and see in all the shops, they've got all the chocolate bars with a big Father Christmas. They used to have them with a big Father Christmas mask you could get.
Here we go, the Patchwork Christmas Cats Calisthenics Association. Mischievous cats and kittens in their colourful Christmas coats. They're celebrating Christmas with Puss in Boots.
All perfectly made up there.
Now these cats are from the Calisthenics Association, a sport that develops the mind, the body and teamwork. It uses music with movement and dance and focuses on flexibility, strength, poise and expression.
And they're celebrating with Puss in Boots featuring Tom Jones. What's new? Pussycat, you can hear that. Puss in Boots very happy with himself. Living a lifestyle of luxury in the royal household, once adored by the royal kingdom. Waving to everyone. What an honour, they're sitting on the throne.
Look at him relaxing there.
Hello, Puss in Boots. He's got the best seat in the house. And the Tea Tree Gully Redbacks. That's the way I like it. More 70s music at Christmas, I reckon.
And they're joined by the Calisthenics Association. They're looking very colourful in their can-can outfits.
They are, aren't they? They've been dancing all the way since South Terrace to here on North Terrace. They've done incredibly well. David Gardner there, the Redbacks musical director. And, of course, showing the formation component of calisthenics, which is a sport involving movement and dance. Oh, and here we go, Kate. This is also new.
I've been waiting for this one.
Me too. The Robot Family Christmas, celebrating the future. What would a robot want for Christmas? If we look here, have a look. The box opens. Oh, it did open. Here it goes.
Here we go.
Oh! That makes sense.
They want a human girl.
They're a family of robots and they want a human girl for Christmas. That makes a whole lot of sense. Now, that is spectacular stuff. The robots here, trained by the clinic, you can see them all moving away in a robotic, futuristic form.
Now, the planet Saturn spins and there are flames in the fireplace.
Oh, yeah, you can see those too.
Can you see those?
I can. Wow, I love robots.
Here we have Galaxy 2000. Oh, to be an astronaut, Brenton, wouldn't it be fun? They're aliens and they're young space cadets. So where do these guys all come from? Adelaide gets tourists from everywhere and they keep coming back because South Australia is such a great place to visit. Maybe these guys have come in from outer space just to join the pageant.
They're out of this world. Our very own astronaut in Adelaide, South Australia, is Andy Thomas, as we know. Flown several missions into outer space for NASA. We're very, very proud of that.
Maybe the pilot here is our next Andy Thomas.
I was just thinking that too. He's pretty skilled there in the cockpit. Wouldn't want to own a spaceship like that. Hocus the wonky wizard. He's wonky, right? Yeah, he is, isn't he? None of his magic's gone to plan. Have a look at it all. His red eyes are glowing there in the wizard. Or the dragon, rather, not the wizard.
Casting all his spells across the pageant. I don't think that man in the barrel's meant to have 4 legs, but that's okay.
Look at the guy with all the arms too. Actually, there's a prison there, and you can see it protected by the ugly little goals.
And
green
Brenton,
noses.
we are into fire season now, so I hope that Wonky the Wizard has a fire permit there.
That's true.
Hello, Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to you. Bright and chirpy. The Calamy Swirlies with the gang show performers here. Designed especially by April Hutchins.
She did a great job.
Not much wind out there at the minute, so not swirling around perhaps as much as they could, but no shortage of colour there anyway.
And they're part of the creative direction of the pageant to add a bit of colour and movement.
I reckon we've got some more swirlies to come too. There's quite a few mini sets as part of the pageant. Yes, there are the big floats like this one, Once Upon a Storybook. As I mentioned, only 41 sleeps to go until Christmas, and nothing better to help you sleep than a good bedtime story.
And Once Upon a Storybook features many of our favourite fantasy book characters, such as Alice in Wonderland, Jack and the Beanstalk, Little Red Riding Hood, and Hickory Dickory Dock. You can see there Humpty Dumpty in the corner, Old King Cole.
Look at all the rats coming out of the book. How cool's that? Hickory Dickory Dock, I guess that is.
And also the CEO of Satisfac Credit Union, David White, is the Pied Piper. Let's see if we can spot him.
Oh, look at all the mice. There's the monkey and the weasel on the merry-go-round, the fox and the gingerbread man, and the giant keeps on bobbling his head up and over the top there.
Look at all that hair, Brenton. It's Rapunzel, featuring a...
Look how long it is. It stretches all the way down to the vehicle in front.
Now, can you recognise that song? It's one of our favourites from the movie Grease.
Oh, it sure is. I love the music of the pageant. You're the one that I want. Hello, Rapunzel. How much shampoo and conditioner do you think she's using there for her hair?
Quite a bit, I'd imagine.
Oh, look, he's got chewing gum stuck through her hair. That's the prince. He's stuck on Rapunzel.
They're going to have to cut that out, I think.
Stuck on you. Okay, I get that. More music I can hear. Love all the music. 14 bands as part of this year's Credit Union Christmas pageant. And to me, sounds like the pipes and drums. More clowns here. About 230 or so clowns through the pageant. There we have it. Major Phil Wild, pipe major, in fact, the leader of this magnificent pipes and drums unit from
Wang Wang and Fooney, Brenton, the pandas
excited.
everybody's been waiting to meet.
Not long now before we welcome our newest residents, giant pandas, Wang Wang and Fooney. And I have had so many people, so many kids talk about seeing the pandas in the pageant. Wang Wang, the devil surfer.
And Fooney's favourite ice cream is boysenberry.
Now, their friends are here from the Adelaide Zoo. They're taking them to the beach, where many of us are going to spend our time over the Christmas and the summer period.
Now, Brenton, did you know they'll be the only 2 living pandas in the southern hemisphere when they get here?
That is amazing. And in fact, I understand there are only less than 200 giant pandas in captivity, with only a handful in international zoos. There's Atlanta, San Diego, Tokyo, Vienna, and soon to be Adelaide, South Australia. Our 2 giant pandas, Wang Wang and Fooney. In fact, you've got to book tickets initially to see them, but then, of course, it's going to be a busy year to start off with. And it doesn't cost you any extra, too. You go along to the zoo and you'll be able to see them.
Swinging on a star. The Credit Union Christmas pageant is about participation, colour and movement, and the stars are symbolic at Christmas.
Yeah, the pageant's a star in its own right, but Christmas celebrates the birth of a very important child. An Australian new star appeared in the sky. Of course, we know that is the Star of Bethlehem. We can hear the announcer there encouraging all the audience to stay behind the beautiful blue honour line, something that's been respected over the years.
But they can still participate by playing with all of those lightweight balls.
Yeah, that's great, isn't it? Yeah, no need for fences here. It's just the blue honour line. And for our own safety too, because the London bus is here. Featuring a Mary Poppins theme this year. And have a listen. Can you recognise the music? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And one of my other favourites is in there too. Chim chimney chim chim. Chim chimney chim chim. Chim chim chirry. You didn't think I was going to sing, did you?
This is one of our pageant favourites, an authentic 1946 London bus filled with credit union competition winners lucky enough to have a free ride in the pageant. And it was purchased for the pageant in 1973.
Mary Poppins was one of my favourites, I must admit. And surrounding the bus are the characters looking like they've stepped straight out of a Mary Poppins bag. And here we have Kingsley's vintage cars, driven by 6 unlicensed Charlie Chaplins.
Look out.
Chased by 12 Keystone cops. We've got the yellow car, the 1906 Rover Roadster, driven by Holly Rawson. We've got the red Baker Electric, driven by Jade Rawson. The green car there, that's a T Ford pickup, driven by Rupert McAvoy. The blue one there, the Renault Saloon, driven by Laskell Watkins. And have a look at this. The old pageant tram, another one of my favourites. Fast track to Christmas, just 11 sleeps to go.
Now, we've got some new trams coming, Brenton, don't we? But these old trams look fantastic.
Actually, they look like the old ones we have, that they're still working at the St Kilda Tramway Museum. That's still open. Century-old trams there. And how lucky are we to have this tram here in the city, taking us all the way down, of course, down to the entertainment centre in the very near future.
And another big tradition, Brenton, is taking the tram down to Glenelg.
Tickets, please. And the Ascot live music. We've got a familiar face on board here.
We do, our very own Keith Conlon. He's a big kid when it comes to the pageant.
He is, isn't he?
There he is on the drums.
Hello, mate. Sounding great, mate. The first black and white float of the pageant, with stunning costumes produced by the talented wardrobe pageant team. They are spectacular.
They look so classy.
Spring races here, of course. A great time. In fact, all around the country. Melbourne Cup last week. Here we go. We've got the clans trying to mow some, well, a small amount of lawn at least anyway.
But it keeps moving, Brenton.
You're not going to be amount of time. Have a listen. There we go. There's the lawnmower, which would suggest that they're preparing the green for the summertime sprinkler. Of course, our sporting ovals renowned for watering with this type of sprinkler. Remember that sound?
I do.
I haven't heard it for a while, I must admit.
I do remember running under the sprinkler as a kid because we didn't have a pool.
We did that too in school. When school was too hot, no air conditioning back in my time, we'd run through the sprinklers, and then Mum wasn't too happy about that because we hopped back in her car all soaking wet. And of course, the sprinklers making way for Christmas cricket. Not Christmas without a game of backyard cricket. We've got 8 dancing umpires, a motley crew here of cricketers in baggy green caps.
We've got the bowler, Lizzie Gillespie, umpire Daryl Hare. Batting is Buff Wombat, and behind the stumps we've got Ricky Ponding.
I like that. Kevin Benter here, CEO of Community CPS Australia, is riding on board. Now, of course, next year in December, we've got the Ashes here in Adelaide. The new grandstands at Adelaide Oval just before Christmas next year. So next year, a big year for cricket here in Adelaide. The grandstand following a full field of mice watching the game. Come on, Aussie, come on. Oh, that's a theme and a half for Australia, isn't it? How's that, all right?
There they are up on the grandstand, all the little mice.
Good to see them drinking all that water too. People doing the right thing, hydrating themselves here.
Sitting on the Don Ratman stand.
I love it. I love it. Road it's only. Backyard cricket at Christmas time. Now here we have the Ghana Yityuko Wanindo, which means a Ghana country Christmas. The Ghana people here, of course, the traditional owners of the Adelaide Plains, on which the Credit Union Christmas pageant runs. 3.5 kilometres through the city from South Terrace to North Terrace here.
And we have descendants of the Ghana people accompanying one of the main animals of the region, the kangaroo, which is a favourite to the thousands of tourists who come to South Australia each year.
And our pageant director, Brian Gilbertson, working with the Ghana elders on this concept. The finished design, realised by artists Jill Halliday and Shireen Rankin. And if you look closely enough at the kangaroo as it's coming up now, you can see the fine dot painting artwork on the kangaroo. A lot of detail gone into preparing this float. You can just see there on the legs now. So look at that incredible amount of detail painted by Shireen Rankin. Well done.
We've got the Bay Botch Surf Club.
Oh, another favourite. Now, unlike other people in the world who are dreaming of having a white Christmas, we here in Australia, although actually that would be quite nice right now, wouldn't it? A white Christmas. To soak up the hot summer holiday. Summer's not far from now. The Bay Botch Surf Club celebrating all the fun of the sun and the surf at this festive time of year.
And of course, they're encouraging everybody today to slip, slop, slap with the shirt, the sunscreen and the hat.
Have a look at the dolphin there. Next to these dancers, riding in the wave. There it is.
Having lots of
to be
fun
a
up there
dolphin
today.
riding in that wave. And in the boat up the top. Merry Christmas to you as well. That's the coolest float I've seen so far. I reckon there's going to be a cooler one still to come, though. Talking about the big man himself.
The man in
Can't be
red.
too far away. We've got the Bandicoot Ball Rock, though, in good times and bad. Rural South Australians really know how to throw a good party, and this is no exception. These guys, have a look at how hard these guys have been working, dancing, and they are loving every minute of this. The Bandicoot Ball Music Festival.
And anyone who does visit South Australian regions and the outback know exactly how welcoming all the folk out there are. They're having a great time there.
Like a good bush dance.
Now everybody's dancing on this float, including the CEO of the Police Credit Union, Costa Anastasiou.
It's actually really rocking, isn't it? You can see the float moving up and down.
You have to keep your balance there.
And continuing with the Australian theme, the Jolly Swagman to the tunes of Waltzing Matilda, the Australian folk song sung by homesick Australian travellers. Of course, Kate, there's a bit of a story here. During the years of the Depression, of which the pageant first started out of that 1933, men left home to find work. They carried a swag consisting of a blanket, minimal personal effects. They became known as the Swagmen, just like our Jolly Swagman here today. But he's found himself a nice cooler bar tree to shade from the heat that we've got here today.
And I think those swagmen better watch out because the troopers 1, 2, 3 are coming to arrest them.
I don't think it's going to take long for his billy to boil either. Oh, these guys are brilliant. This is the Billy Hyde Raiders Drum Corps. How cool do they sound? Let's have a listen.
You can really feel the vibrations, Brenton.
A crowd pleaser every time. Formed in 1992. A drum major, Samantha Todd, trained by Steve Todd and Des Bluey Clark. That's their director and drill instructor. And of course there we have for MG Funk from Mighty Good Productions. The talented school, renowned throughout Australia, dancing with us here to the tunes of the Billy Hyde Raiders Drum Corps.
And that school is run by a former Channel 9 star, Brenton Markham Haslett.
Hey, I can hear a whistle. I thought it'd be these guys, Snow White, featuring the songs Whistle While You Work.
There's the evil queen there. And the beautiful Snow White blowing us kisses there. Thanks, Snow White.
Whistle while you work. Although we couldn't do that because otherwise we'd have to stop talking, wouldn't we? If we whistled while we worked. Maybe I could whistle the weather one day. Snow White. Doc, grumpy, sleepy, dopey, sneezy, happy and bashful.
That's pretty good,
That was
Brenton.
off the top of the head too.
There you go.
No, just joking. Oh, hello. Alfie the long hot dog. He's pretty hot all right too.
Oh, they're all panting today.
Oh, to have some water right now.
And Alfie's here because, of course, Christmas is for pets as well as humans, Brenton.
Oh, it sure is. In fact, we go the extra mile. We make sure that our family pets are part of Christmas. Now, look, one of our beautiful floats here that would normally prelude Aladdin is Nellie. But Nellie, would you believe, Was first introduced in 1950, unable to cope with the heat just at the minute. It has 9,000 moving parts, and you might see it from previous years, in fact. You will remember Nellie, but here we have Aladdin. And the peasants from the marketplace have all dressed up as members of Prince Ali's entourage.
Now, Brenton, do you think this genie might be responsible for conjuring up all the magic today?
Well, part of it, I suppose. Yeah,
Possibly.
I guess so. I mean, he is on the way to the magic cave. We'll see what magic he can pull out there.
I reckon it might be partly due to all the number of people behind the scenes, though, with the support from South Australian Police, Emergency Services, St John's and Ambulance, Metropolitan Fire Services and Adelaide Council. The list goes on. They're the ones that make the real magic.
There are so many people involved, something in the order of 3,500 people that are here today to string this together. And that in itself is a lot of magic. So Aladdin on his magic carpet. Actually, it'd be great to be flying through this right now, wouldn't it?
I love these guys, Brenton, the monster family, the friendliest monster family in the universe.
Yes, they're a big family favourite, Zorg and his family. Of course, this year's theme is family sharing memories, and a big family favourite here. First joined the pageant in 2003. They wouldn't miss it for the world, or the universe for that matter. Just like everyone else, they keep coming back to see the pageant. Now, Og here is yellow with lovely red spikes, big blue eyes. And we've got Zabella there, called Bella for short, actually, because he's quite short. Now, have a look at our little baby alien here. Baxter poking out his tongue. Zorg, hello, Zorg. Ah, yes, the monster family. Speaking all kinds of different languages. Today, speaking South Australian for us.
But they're friendly, so the boys and girls behind the blue on the line don't need to be scared.
And of course introduced last year for us, the Flights of Fancy with Granny Flo, bright and colourful. Have a look at her big glasses there. Come all dressed up in her pearls today. And a couple of lucky riders riding on the back of Granny Flo.
Now, Brenton, this float celebrates our grandparents who tell us stories of the past and excite in our children lots of imagination through which they go on flights of fancy. It's really the grandparents, I think, who keep up the pageant tradition, arriving as early as 5 a.m, some of them, to hold their spots until the rest of the family arrives.
They have a big ask on a day like today. They've done it well. Granny Flo. And Bollywood now. Capturing this theme of Bollywood, playing a more important role in our cinemas these days. And South Australia's renowned for its film industry. In fact, quite a few Bollywood films have been shot here in more recent times. And it's another float that celebrates the multicultural community, and another one of our community themes here of the Christmas pageant. Families sharing memories. There's a bride and groom, actually, that are dancing up there. This is set as far as a Bollywood wedding.
Look at all that energy, Brenton. They've been dancing for a long time, and just look at them go.
And I can hear more pipe band music, the Adelaide Irish Pipe Band. You can hear them starting to come on the set now. With strong history here in Adelaide, first formed in 1941.
Now they're the only Irish pipe band in South Australia.
Now, if they're an Irish pipe band, you can guess which parade they normally form part of. The St Patrick's Day.
Of course.
Celebrations. The Adelaide Irish Pipe Band.
And the leading drummer there is James Anderson.
Harvey Hearties. It's Nasty Devil, the Pirate King. Setting sail to the music of the Pirates of the Caribbean. And yo ho, a pirate's life for me. That's from the Disney set of Pirates, if you've been there. Nasty Devil and his boatload of buccaneers have stolen the hearts of the crowd now for more than 10 years.
I don't think they're your regular pirates, though. These crew are good pirates, Brenton. They were in Rundle Mall earlier this year, and they were fundraising for the credit union's community treasure chest. So they're not so nasty after all.
Now, the Pirates have been a long part of our imagination. They fit the part well here at this credit union Christmas pageant, hauling a shipload of treasure to the Magic Cave, where you too can pick up yourself a lucky dip, ride the carousel. You can see Nipper and Nibble and meet David the Talking Tree. It's going to be open every day up until Christmas. David Jones here in Rundle Mall. nasty, Neville, eh? He does look a bit nasty.
Number 13, Ghastly Grove. Is this the night before Christmas, Brenton?
Well, we just had Halloween a couple of weeks ago, but it's a pretty jovial nightmare before Christmas, isn't it? Bit of a spooky Halloween tale? I don't know. Big grove tree just reaching over the top there, rocking the house. To ABBA.
They are dancing to ABBA. And Australian Central Credit Union CEO and chair of the Credit Union Christmas Pageant Company, Peter Evers, and his wife Jackie are the ghostly ghouls on the front of that float.
Oh, look at that, they just froze. It's a bit scary. Cloudy Clary. Hello, mate. He's got a contagious smile, this fella has. Rolling on his hands and knees, the Austin 7 clown capers with Sir Kids.
Now, Sir Kids was founded in 1986 by Tony Hammond for disadvantaged young people in South Australia.
They have about 350 young people attend their sessions every week, going to schools and events.
And they use circus skills to teach social, physical and creative development.
These clowns are from the SA Tourism Commission, who are, of course, bringing us together with the credit unions, our pageant here today. And a big wave from you. Hello.
Standing on someone's shoulders.
Now, that is the way to get the ride through the Christmas pageant route, for sure.
You'd have a good view from up there, wouldn't you?
Now, is that person therefore classified as a float or a walking mini set?
I think there might be a walking mini set, Brenton.
Oh, maybe down she comes.
Okay, we're now going to cross to Snowy.
Thanks, Kate. We are with Vic and also with Peg. These guys have been here for the last, well, not the last 77 years, but they've been every year since then.
6, I'm 84 now.
Unbelievable. What's one of your fondest memories, Peggy?
Oh, just all the people and the happiness and the bands. I love the bands.
Wonderful.
As well.
And you also remember seeing horse-drawn carts too, don't you, Vic?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what I do. I love that.
Drawn by the old draft horses.
There you go. They've had a good time here, I can tell you that right now.
Well done. It's great having them with us. Again, it comes back to the theme of families sharing memories and families that have been coming here repeatedly, no matter the weather, and just enjoying, soaking up the atmosphere here of the 2009 Credit Union Christmas Pageant. And our snail trail, looking like the giant snail from Dr. Dolittle. Do you remember that?
I do.
He actually travelled around the world in a big snail like this one. I hope to be Dr. Dolittle and talk to the animals. All the flower garden around the snails. Actually, with all the rain we had not that long ago, plenty of snails about the place.
You know what, Snowy? I think that snail might be wearing some makeup.
Oh, yes. Very. Therefore, is it a male or a female snail?
Well, who really knows? But I think that makeup might be running a little bit today.
Have a look at his googly eyes. The eyes in a snail, they're the funniest things, aren't they?
Oh, they're very googly.
They fold in pretty quick, don't they?
They do.
Snail. Speaking of eyes, have a look at this.
Look at those. Can't miss those eyes. This is Birth of the Butterfly.
Actually, I was going to say, I reckon I squashed one of those on the front porch last night, but maybe not that one. The Birth of a Butterfly, yes, an old story like the Ugly Duckling. Each year, little grubs like the one we just saw, waiting their turn to grow into a beautiful butterfly.
Theatre Bugs, where every child is a star. It's a talent school directed by Joni Combe, daughter of internationally famous Peter Combe.
And one of the wonderful things we have here about South Australia is that we experience quite distinct seasonal changes here. We know that. And each year brings a new colour, new life to our beautiful city, represented here by the Birth of the Butterfly. Gracefully waving their wings. The little grubs, they're not grubby grubs though, are they? Soon to become, waiting their turn to become a butterfly.
Beautiful butterfly in the middle.
Looking down here on North Terrace at the minute, the snail is there, paving the way. These guys have come the 3.5 kilometre route to get to North Terrace. We're about to greet Father Christmas, not too far away, and welcome to the Magic Cove.
And we can hear some more music here from the Unley Concert Band, together with Strictly Talented Dancers, directed by Kevin Cameron.
Actually, they had a big gig this year too. They travelled to Belgium and France to represent Australia at the World War I Anzac Day commemoration events. That is a huge honour.
It's a huge honour, Brenton, and they've been the state champion concert band on several years and took second in the Nationals this year.
The Strictly Talented Dancers. A prelude to Alice in Wonderland. A very special time for everyone on board the Alice in Wonderland float, because everyone on board, Kate, including Tweedledee and Tweedledum, they're all celebrating a very happy unbirthday. In fact, so are you. Happy unbirthday, Kate.
Well, happy unbirthday to you, Brenton.
Thank you very much. Mad Hatter is there.
Looking a little happier these days.
Actually, the Queen and King of Hearts, who's actually Kevin Bedger of CPS Australia. They've got the Royal Court. Ah, the March here. Dormouse, the Cheshire Cat. Family and friends gathering around the table.
Cinderella, one of our favourites. Cinderella wants to be at the ball forever, Brenton.
Now, I was looking at this float. This is kind of like a big shoe here. The original Cinderella bluebirds became coachmen and lizards and turned them into horses. And we can see this float here that's become the little shoe that they're riding in at the moment. The Ugly Sisters are there too, and their mum as well, wearing masks, probably for a good reason.
And the lovely Cinderella and her charming prince on the top of that there.
And the clock always ticking 1 minute to midnight. See, it keeps on going back. Very close.
Now, this is a new one, Brenton. Rodney the Biplane, the magnificent men in their flying machines.
Designed by students from Owen Primary School as part of the 2009 mini float competition.
Now, there was over 300 entries this year, so schools should keep an eye on the pageant website, www.cupageant.com.au, to find out when the competition's on again. What a great honour to win.
Sure would be. And the toy top spinning around for Christmas, featuring clowns, fairies, unicorns. There's pixies there. A few of the clowns that have been a long-standing tradition here. More than 230 clowns with us here in the pageant.
Look at all that colour, Brenton. Isn't that fabulous?
And the big bob-ups. Bobbing up and down. They do bob around, don't they?
They
Again,
do.
a massive tradition here. Recognisable faces for many years.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas to you, buddy. And the Octopus's Garden in the shade too.
It's a good place to be today.
Australian summers bring on the beach weather.
And it's got
Blowing
some
all
of
the
our
bubbles.
favourite sea characters, colourful relatives of Nemo, an angelfish with all the blue and yellow, and a tentacle waving purple octopus hoping for the advent of a return wave.
Yes, we had the Mexican wave earlier today. And they're still not sick of waving, which is great news. Oh, those bubbles will be nice and cool as well. There's a tentacle waving purple octopus there. And Mr. Owley's school. School's not far from finishing, but these guys are still working hard.
Still studying away. I wonder if they've done all their homework.
Now look at the maths here. 4 plus 15. 18, that's not right.
Maybe some of the kids on the side of the road behind the blue honour line will give them a few tips there.
That's not right either. Oh, don't send your parents to Mr. Owley's school, that's for sure. I thought owls are supposed to be wise.
And some more wonderful music from the Australian Army Band Adelaide, formed in 1950.
Into the Christmas carols already. Yes, they include some of the best musicians here in Adelaide. There's an Army Reserve Band. And the Christmas swirlies here as well. These swirlies designed especially for the pageant in Christmas colours by artist April Hutchins. And lots of colour there, traditional Christmas colours, red, green, and it's wonderful to see so many people in the crowd too that have come here dressed up for Christmas. That's part of it. It's not just the pageant itself, it's also getting amongst the atmosphere here of the pageant, dressing up in the colours, and then the next best thing after the pageant is going home and putting up the Christmas tree.
Exactly
And the Christmas
right, Brenton.
colours come into the home.
You know it's Christmas when you're putting up the Christmas tree, and also when somebody else very special arrives and he's not too far away.
Well, here's something else that's very, very special. In fact, it's funny to think that without this nativity scene, the Christmas pageant itself wouldn't even be here to herald the first, of course, very, very first Christmas, the Nativity. A colourful and authentic reminder of the reason for the season.
Led by 3 live camels there with 3 wise men.
Here we go.
Oh dear.
It's my camel impression. It's become obligatory.
It was quite good, Brenton.
Someone paid me to do that. Anyway, sorry, that was my camel. Look how blue everything is. A very accurate representation of the baby in a manger late at night, the very first Christmas. As I mentioned, without this float here, there wouldn't be any of the others.
And it's everything but a silent night here at the moment with all the noise and spectacle of the pageant.
I probably didn't help that,
and
did
Brenton's camel noises.
Christmas around the world, celebrating the diversity in our South Australian community.
Now, the placards that everyone's carrying here display Merry Christmas in each country's language and carry the colours of their national flags.
Isn't that beautiful? That is tremendous. That is so stirring. Christmas around the world. Love, tolerance and peace. The words written on each corner of the float. And the International Revival Gospel Choir performing from Burundi and Congo.
Anything is possible.
Yes, we've got the Tutti Ensemble here, celebrating disability in our community. And on our floats are members of the Tutti Ensemble, and they love doing this. They sound so great too. They've been recognised locally and internationally, setting the benchmark for connecting people with disability with mainstream theatre. And the Tutti Ensemble, you can see them at so many wonderful locations around Adelaide and South Australia, performing quite regularly, and more recently a regular feature here of the Credit Union Christmas Pageant.
Here we have the Harndorf Town Band together with Cheryl Bradley dancers.
It started in 1926, these guys.
Dressed in Christmas colours there. And this year they won the C grade at the Barossa Band Festival, and every year they're a big part of the Harndorf Music Fest each year.
And the Cheryl Bradley dancers.
They've been kicking their legs up all the way along the pageant route, Brenton.
Kicking pretty high, I might add, too. Actually, this is how I wake up on Christmas morning. I run out of the room like this. I string my arms in the air. Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas, I say. It's Christmas Day. I dance to the Christmas tree where the presents are.
I'd like to see that, Brenton. Christmas in Toy Town. This is a new float, Brenton. Now, while everybody between 2 and 102 loves the pageant, Christmas in Toy Town celebrates the youngest of our pageant supporters, and it's been specially designed and built by the elves at the pageant workshop, John Barney and Barney Cundall.
Have a look at all the colour there. All the blocks, the numbers, the letters. I wonder what they spell out. Merry Christmas. I love the train that's pulling it too. I love trains in the Christmas pageant. It's not the only one too. There's going to be another one coming real soon. But yes, as you say, a new float here. Lots of shiny colours on it too.
And Brenton, walking along the Christmas in Toy Town float this year, wearing a red costume with a white fluffy collar and a cape, is Brenda Jones. She's a special member of the pageant family, and she's retiring today after 27 years of dedicated service in the pageant wardrobe department. And this is the first time that Brenda's actually been in the pageant, Brenton.
Oh, what an honour.
Very special day.
And so grateful for all of her efforts and everyone else there at Stardust Castle. We really are just so wonderfully grateful for all the time that they put in. The Nutcracker, a Christmas ballet here.
Beautiful ballerinas leaping our way. Twirling and spinning down the street.
They are too, and lots of colour there with the Cossacks. And the Nutcracker the Christmas ballet being conducted by none other than, it looks like, Rudolph. Well, certainly got a red nose anyway.
So if Rudolph's
Tinsel.
here...
No, this is Tinsel. I'm sorry, I'm confused. I saw the red nose. I'm just too excited. The red nose here is Tinsel.
He's another one of
Maestro
Santa's
Tinsel, the
reindeers.
reindeer. That's right, yeah.
He's the one that conducts all the music.
And he's doing a good job of it too. And the Cossacks forming around the float there. They're all police credit union staff, learn their steps from Michael Riggs. They've been rehearsing, in fact, over the last couple of months. Hello, Tinsel there. Tinsel the reindeer.
Doing a great job of conducting.
It certainly means that Rudolph can't be far away. He's the kingpin in the North Pole with Father Christmas.
That's right. And if he's not far away, then that means the big guy's not far away either.
And, of course, we wait with eager anticipation. That's what the Christmas pageant is all about. Father Christmas arriving at his home here, just off North Terrace at the Magic Cave, which in fact came first before the pageant. 1905 was when the Magic Cave first started.
Kossi the koala.
Yeah, he loves the snow, but there isn't too much here today. He's a nice, cool koala. We've had quite a few koalas venture into our backyards of late.
But he also loves Father Christmas, Brenton, and he's been visiting Father Christmas at the North Pole and accompanied him on his journey back to Australia.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
They're looking very happy, but I think they might need to hurry their way through the pageant before they melt, Brenton.
Plenty of sunscreen on their face too. And a Christmas carol with the Australian Girls Choir. We've got music here, Jingle Bell Rock. Here comes Santa Claus. We wish you a Merry Christmas. And they've been singing all the way since South Terrace. Of course, the carols are a big tradition at Christmas time. Plenty of community carols events all around town.
And all around the world, in fact.
And today heralds this moment in time where we now lead into the festive season to Christmas Day. 41 sleeps away.
So close, Brenton.
Sure is. And we're now joined with the Mitcham City Band. Current lead is Reg Chaplin. Next year, Steve Pack is going to be the new director. But we've got drum major Peter McIntyre here. He's been serving for 34 years.
And Peter and his wife Ruth, who's playing today also, Brenton, joined the band on the very same night. Maybe that's how they met.
It's a nice love story, isn't it? And ringing in the spirit of Christmas is the Calisthenics Association, with live bell recordings not far behind from the Adelaide cathedrals and churches. But here we have the association leading with choreography by Glenys Anderson. Quite graceful too down North Terrace. Wow, very graceful. You can hear the click of their feet.
Beautiful floaty costumes. They look like a bunch of butterflies floating down the pageant route.
They do. The spirit of Christmas with these bells. As I mentioned, the recordings from Adelaide cathedrals and churches. Ringing in the spirits of Christmas. From St Francis Xavier, St Peter's cathedrals, St Cuthbert's in Prospect, I think, were recorded there as well. The Walkerville Church steeples, under the direction of our pageant director. Gee, I tell you what, I am going to go home like you wouldn't believe after this pageant is over and whip up the Christmas tree in the space of 20 minutes, I reckon. With all the Christmas carols I'm hearing, it has really put me in the mood.
Definitely is the start of the Christmas season, Brenton. It's very exciting.
Now, you know you can write to Father Christmas at the Credit Union Christmas Pageant website. And young artists colouring our world. We've got the big arts festival happening again next year in Adelaide. This is going to be huge.
Now, this float features the beautiful work of internationally acclaimed artist David Bromley, who thoroughly enjoyed his participation in creating this float for the Credit Union Christmas Pageant in 2006.
Yep, lots of inspiration there. Frida Kahlo, Picasso, Diageo Rivera. Van Gogh as well. Lots of inspiration for Colour My World with our young artists. As I mentioned, we've got the Festival of Arts here in Adelaide next year. Of course, North Terrace is going to be a big part of that, with the Northern Lights coming back, stretching all the way down to the rear of Government House.
And David's art is really beautiful because it does explore the world of children.
And the Christmas on Parade continues with another genuine London bus that was shipped here to Adelaide especially for the pageant.
Now this bus is full of children who won the Ride of a Lifetime competition run by the credit unions, and I think they are having a ride of their lifetime today at the Credit Union Christmas pageant. Look at all those big smiles.
And there are 12 very special members here, retired members of the pageant family who haven't been working for it this year. They've decided to actually jump on board and be a part of it. They've created the magic here at the pageant for so many years, and experiencing what it's like to be on the other side, on board this nice shady bus. And we thank you guys too for your special time you've put in to this Christmas pageant. And so many, in fact. 77, started in 1933. There was a break during the war years, about 4 years. But then it was resurrected straight after that, as soon as the victory in the war was, we had the pageant going back through here, the city.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and that won't be too far away, Brenton. This is featuring the young Adelaide voices.
And in fact, the stirring singing is so good that our friendly mouse has dropped off to sleep while reading the poem.
Of course, it's from the poem "'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse." And this mouse is well and truly dropped off to sleep.
Are they sleepwalking, I wonder? All the householders are walking in their various states of sleep, dreaming about what Christmas Day is going to bring. The young boys there singing from the young Adelaide voices. And here we have Rudolph. I knew he was coming. I knew he wouldn't be too far away. Christmas with Rudolph. He always has a summer vacation, and this one is to boot. Have a look at this. Have a look at him just relaxing back on the rocking chair.
He's there having a look at where he's going to go on his next vacation, Brenton.
Having a great old time, isn't he? In fact, you can see there, the calendar says 26th, so it's the day after Christmas Day for Rudolph here.
He's had enough. He's off overseas.
He's got the lead gig. The bright, shiny nose that escorts the other reindeers, who we'll see very soon bringing in Father Christmas.
And you can feel the excitement now, can't you? As we go to the Enfield Brass Band and the Cheryl Bradley Dancers.
Yes, for the second year running, the band's the current state C-grade champion and the state marching band champion for the third year running with the Cheryl Bradley Dancers.
They have a bit of a history with the pageant. Now, Cheryl's grandmother was a Harlequin clown in 1933 and 1934 pageants.
And Stardust Castle. I love this one. This is, of course, part of the home of Stardust Castle, where the pageant comes from. So many stars on it, so many colours there. It was new last year, and just like the night sky. So many stars, you couldn't even count them. Designed by Gary Lee Gaston, the Stardust Castle there. How beautiful. So much detail in that one too.
Now, this is one of my favourites, Brenton, Cupcake Christmas. Now, one of the things I love about Christmas is Mum's home-baked Christmas goodies, including the cookies and the cupcakes, and I know you love them too, Brenton.
Probably a little bit too much, particularly at Christmas time. Our Cupcake Queen is Alexandra Cannon, Chair of Power State Credit Union. How many cupcakes are there? Hundreds and thousands.
Very good.
Cupcakes are pretty cool, aren't they?
They are, and this float was designed by the students at St John's Grammar School at Belair.
Actually, Mum, in fact, Grandma's cooking as well at Christmas time. I'll have them both, thanks very much. Beautiful Christmas cookies and cupcakes. It's all part of it. Oh, hello! This is the Toyville trolley. Oh no, sorry, it's not the Toyville trolley. This is our new Christmas stocking. This is the new stretch limo.
Look at that thing. Look how long it is.
Escorted by 24 living dolls, designed by Kees van Driel. The biggest stocking I reckon I've ever seen. And the biggest unit I've ever seen too. Stretched to 8 metres long, sitting on special suspension and tyres. And what a ride that would be. They're the biggest dolls driving the ute that I've ever seen too.
I think the boys at Stardust Workshop have had a lot of fun designing and building this stunner.
That is very special. Look at all the toys, man. There are so many toys in there.
That thing is jam-packed full of toys.
Okay, pick out which one you want.
I'll go the keyboard in the middle.
Okay, I'm going to go the robot down the bottom. Actually,
I think there's a few stuffed toys in there. Too many to choose from.
The good thing is we can share all those. They're all going into the lucky dip at the Magic Cave.
There you go. Christmas tree. We're getting closer to Father Christmas, Brenton.
Oh, there's Kim Cirrus. He's one of our garden gurus here on Channel 9. He always gets this gig, driving the Christmas tree. The first live floral float here in the Christmas pageant back in 2004 originally, and again with us here this year with beautiful arrangements including toys and teddy bears and flowers.
Don't they look beautiful? This float would not be possible without Forestry SA, Oasis, City of Charles Sturt and their many volunteers, and Woodville Academy of Floral Design and their helpers, who are all listed in the credits of today's broadcast. Look out for them.
Well, like I said before, my tree's going up as soon as I get home from the pageant. Good time to do it. With the Royal Caledonian Society pipes and drums. Formed in 1894, they're the oldest pipe band in the Southern Hemisphere, and they're with us today. Hello! I've got a sneak preview of this guy, Father Christmas.
How exciting, Brendan. Everybody's excited. Father Christmas is here in Adelaide, South Australia for Christmas 2009.
Oh, hello, Father Christmas.
Father Christmas.
Giving us a wave. Look this way, Father Christmas. This way.
Over here. Oh, he's waving to all the boys and girls. Look, they're so excited.
With his reindeers, there's Dasher, there's Dancer, Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid, Donner and Blitzen. We had Rudolph before there.
Very good.
Oh, how good is that? That means Christmas has now arrived here in Adelaide.
What an absolute joy to share this wonderful moment with you. So exciting. He's finally here.
All the way from the North Pole. Didn't bring with a cool change as perhaps we would have hoped, but there will be a nice thing at the Magic Cave. Snowy, you're on the road. You're joining us now.
Mate, I am on the road. I tell you what, the feeling here is just incredible. The kids yelled so loud as soon as Father Christmas came past in the Christmas pageant float. So many kids, I'm sure, getting ready to go home. As you said, Brenton, put up the Christmas tree and start writing out their letters to Father Christmas, making lots of wishes, hopefully, come true for a lot of South Australian kids this year.
The coolest character in town is finally here because Christmas has arrived. Yes, it's Father Christmas. He's only just seconds away, but I think he's actually got a few cool things on his float, hasn't he? Look, the icicles have kept the reindeer all lovely and cool today. He's got lots of lovely drinks up there, and he's giving a big wave to all the children of South Australia. And welcome to Adelaide, Father Christmas. Welcome, Father Christmas. Here's 3 cheers for Father Christmas. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip. Now, Father Christmas has 41 sleeps with us here in Adelaide. He's going to be living in the Magic Cave right up until Christmas Eve. So you've got 41 chances to come and say hello to Father Christmas, because of course he has to go and collect all the other toys and presents for all the other boys and girls around the world. Father Christmas, you must have a special message for the children of South Australia.
Yes, I do, Kelly. Yes, I do. It's lovely to be in South Australia at the Credit Union Christmas Pageant. Love one another and cherish the memories. I wish your home is full of happiness, joy, and just love and enjoy your Christmas. And to you all, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Well, there we have it. Thank you very much, Father Christmas, and a very, very Merry Christmas to you. We welcome you to Adelaide. It sure is looking a lot like Christmas here in Adelaide, heralding the start of the festive season, the 77th Credit Union Christmas Pageant. And it has been a real privilege having Father Christmas and all the floats here with us. So many people here.
It's been a fantastic day, Brenton.
Well, thank you, Kate. Thank you, Snowy. Thank you, Kelly. It's been a wonderful time. And we're going to farewell Father Christmas because he's going to make his way into the Magic Cave.
And of course, you can visit Father Christmas at the Magic Cave right up until Christmas Eve.
See you, everyone, and have a great Christmas.
Now that Father Christmas has arrived at David Jones, he still has a little way to go before he gets to his home in the Magic Cave. The Magic Cave is a tradition that goes back more than 100 years in Adelaide, so it's no wonder there's so much excitement as the jolly old fellow arrives at his home in Toyland. And as always, Father Christmas will be at the Magic Cave each day right up until Christmas Eve.
I wish that your home is full of joy, peace and happiness. And I wish you all a Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas.
The special television event was brought to you by Channel 9 Adelaide, your pageant station.